Today, I would like to discuss about modern physics by wave optics. The topic is polarization. Last class, I would like to discuss about the introduction of the polarization. Today, I would like to discuss about Nicol prism. Before I will start the Nicol prism, one animated electromagnetic waves theory. According to this theory, light is an electromagnetic wave. It consists of vibrations of electric field and magnetic field propagation, and also vibration of electric field and magnetic field confined to two different planes mutually perpendicular to each other. It was proved that electric field vibrations are responsible for the vision. Therefore, vibrations of light means each electric field vibration. If we neglect the vibrations of magnetic field representation become simpler. Now electromagnetic wave will look like pure transverse wave. Every vibration will have particularly plane of the oscillations. The oscillations can in these directions. This direction, even in this direction, we know that electromagnetic waves are produced by the excited atoms. A particular atom produced magnetic field vibrations in the direction. Its neighbor may produce vibrations in this direction. Similarly, different atoms of materials can produce atoms, but due to this common source of light, incandescent lamp, candle flame, fluorescent lamp, etc., emit light that have electric field vibrations in a number of directions. This type of light beam, which vibrates in more than one plus is called unpolarized light. Similarly, a light beam which has vibrations in only one plane is called polarized light. The electric field vector polarized light can be resolved in the vertical and horizontal components. Now this is called simpler way of the representing an unpolarized light. However, this is only front view of the wave on the side view. The wave is represented in this way. Here the arrow represents vibrations of plane of the paper and dots represent the vibrations in the direction perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Polarization of light. When an unpolarized light is allowed to pass through polarized, let's call it as a polarizer, one of all the vibrations of light, those vibrations pass through the crystal, which have vibrations parallel to the crystallographic axis. Here, the crystallographic axis is represented by the dotted lines. Now, the emerging light passes to the plane polarized light. It contains vibrations in only one plane. The phenomena of vibrating of light to the perpendicular plane of perpendicular propagation of light is called polarized light. Now, let us learn about two important terms used in this topic. Number one is plane of vibration. The plane ABCD here that continuous vibrations of plane polarized light is called plane of vibrations. Number two, plane of polarization. The plane PQRS perpendicular to the plane of vibration is called plane of vibration. It is also the plane in which there is no vibration. If I naught is the intensity of the unpolarized light, then intensity of polarized light I coming out of polarized is given by I is equal to I naught by 2. Now this pass this plane polarized light through another polarized we will call as analyzer if the pass x-axis of polarizer it as a parallel to the pass axis of analyzer. The emergent beam of light will have the no change in intensity, that is when theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degrees the intensity is maximum, that is I is equal to I naught by 2. Here I naught is maximum intensity. If the analyzer rotated an angle theta, then the intensity of emergent light decreases. When the light pass axis of the analyzers perpendicular to the pass axis of the polarizer, no light will be transmitted out analyzer, that is theta is equal to 90 degrees and intensity I is equal to 0. Now, Malus law states that when completely plane polarized light is incident on an analyzer, the intensity of emergent light varies as square root of the cosine of the angle between the polarizer and analyzer, that is I is equal to I naught cos square theta. Brewster's law. When a light is incident at a polarizing angle theta p at the interface of the transparent medium, the refractive index of the medium with respect to the surrounding medium is equal to in tangent of the polarizing angle n is equal tan theta p. Here n is the refractive index of the medium with respect to the surrounding medium. Using Brewster's law, we can calculate the polarizing angle of the medium. When Ri in refractive index is now, for example, glass whose refractive index is 1.5, the polarizing angle is 56.3 degrees. The glass is surrounded by air. Similarly, when water is surrounded by air, the water refractive index is 1.33. The polarizing angle in water 53 degrees. Prism. Nickel prism was designed by William Nickel. One of the most common forms of nickel prism is made by taking a calcite crystal whose length is 3 times of breadth. The face diagonals are 72 degrees and 108 degrees. It is cut into the tool of along the face diagonal and two joined together by layers of Canada balsam transparent cement as shown in animation. For sodium light, refractive index for ordinary light is 1.68 and for extraordinary light is 1.486. The refractive index for Canada balsam is 1.550. For both races, Canada balsam does not polarize light. A monochromatic beam of the unpolarized light incident the face of the nickel prism, it switch into the two rays as ordinary ray O, extraordinary ray E. Inside the nickel prism, double reflection takes place. The ordinary ray is a total inner reflection at rays of the Canada balsam and pigment from emergent from the other face. The extraordinary ray alone as transparent through crystal which is plane polarized. Nickel prism serves as the polarization and also analyzer. Thank you students for the my dear students, before I would like discuss about nickel prism. It is a double reflection, and double reflection is when a light ray is incident on a crystal of a calcite. It gives two reflected rays instead of one. That is called double reflection. For example, an ink dot viewed through calcite crystal, it appears in two images of ink dot. If the crystal is slowly rotated, one of the image remains constant and other image rotates about first one. The stationary image is known as ordinary image and rotating image is known as extraordinary image. The ray produced by ordinary image is said to be ordinary ray and the ray produced by an extraordinary image is called extraordinary ray. But here, when the light is passes to A to B in this direction, so this is called the perpendicular plane of paper. A point of B, it is called the reflection is double reflection R1 and R2, and it is called the one is called the ordinary ray, another is extraordinary ray. Its angle is 71 degrees and 109 degrees. When a beam of unpolarized light incident on a calcite crystal at an angle is refracted along two paths inside the crystal, one is along BC and another one is along BD. Like this is called the BC direction and this is called BD direction. The emergent ray CE is extraordinary ray and DO is said to be ordinary ray as shown in the figure. The incident ray AB incident is a normal and it is refracted. Let BC makes an angle of refraction R2 and BD is R1. From the diagram, the BC is called, the angle is R1 and BD is called, the angle is called R2. The refractive index of the ordinary ray, the refractive index of the extraordinary ray. The ordinary ray obeys law of the refraction and extraordinary ray does not obey. Here is constant and the varies with the angle of extraordinary ray. It has been found that the ordinary ray and extraordinary ray are polarized, but their vibrations are perpendicular to each other. That is called the perpendicular to each other. That is called double reflection. But here the nickel prism, it is for the double reflection. The nickel prism invented by William Nickel in 1828. It is a device to produce and analyze plain polarized light. It is a produce analyze the plain polarized light. Calcite crystal whose length is 3 times of the breadth. 3 times of breadth is used. By gaining the polishing the angle of the small pieces, it is rotated the angles is 68 degrees and 112 degrees. This crystal is then cut into 2 pieces of the diagonal. Then the 2 pieces are made optically flat by polishing and joined together using a transparent material is called Canada balsam material. The Canada balsam is a cement of the transparent material. But nickel prism, the refractive index of the Canada balsam is the refractive index value 1.55. When the rays split into 2, one is called the refractive index of ordinary ray 1.658, refractive index of extraordinary ray 1.486. The ordinary ray strikes on the Canada balsam layer with an angle greater than the critical angle, and then the ray undergo total internal reflection. So here the angle greater than the critical angle, it is obeys the principle of total internal reflection. The reflected rays observed by block print coated on the sides of the crystal. So this is called Canada balsam material. So what is the Nicol prism? But basically, what is the principle? What is the construction of the Nicol prism? For example, this is called the Canada balsam material cut in the body diagonal 68 degrees and 90 degrees. But here the light rays transfers to all the directions. It's split into the two directions. One is called the BO direction. Another is called some other direction like is called BE direction. BO is called ordinary ray, and BE is called extraordinary ray. But dear students, the principle of nickel prism is a device for producing and analyzing the plane polarized light. It is called plane polarized light. When an ordinary light is transmitted through a colloidal crystal, it split in ordinary and extraordinary beams, which are plane polarized and are mutually perpendicular to each other. So, in era of 1828, Nickel, Williams Nickel eliminated the ordinary ray by utilizing the phenomena of total internal reflection. A thin film of Canada balsam separated by two pieces. It is the Canada balsam material separated by two pieces of the calcite. This is known as a nickel prism. So the construction of the nickel prism, a calcite crystal whose length is 3 times of the breadth is taken. The end faces of the crystals are grounded such that the angles in the principal section becomes 68 degrees and 112 degrees. 112 degrees instead of 71 degrees and 109 degrees is increase the field of view. The crystal is cut into two pieces by plane perpendicular to the plane section as well as the end faces PR and QS. PR and PR. This is called P. This is called Q, S and R. PR and QS. PR and QS. It is the dotted lines. The two cut surfaces are grinded and polished optically flat and cemented together by Canada balsam material. This is called Canada balsam material. The refractive index of Canada balsam lies between the refractive index for the ordinary ray and extraordinary ray of the calcite crystal. For sodium lines, the refractive index of the ordinary ray 1.68. Suppose this is called 1.68 and refractive index for Canada balsam is 1.55 and refractive index of the extraordinary ray 1.48. The action of the nickel prism, when a beam of light AB enters the PR, it is doubly reflected into ordinary plane of polarized beam BO and extraordinary plane polarized beam BE in nickel prism. The extraordinary ray or ordinary ray is completely reflected at calcite balsam surface and is observed by tube containing the nickel prism. If the angle of incidence is greater than the corresponding critical angle 69 degrees, it is called total internal reflection. Then only extraordinary ray is transmitted, which is plane polarized, having the vibrations parallel to the principal plane. So this is called the action of the nickel prism. My dear students, here the light is propagation to the PQ plane in the point of B. It is split into the two double reflection. One is called BO, that is called ordinary ray, and BE, it is extraordinary ray. So the refractive index of the Canada balsam lies between the refractive indices for the ordinary and extraordinary rays of the crystal, calcite crystal. The refractive index of ordinary ray mu naught is equal to 1.68 and Canada balsam material, it is a transparent cement, calcite cement balsam material 1.55 and extraordinary ray, the Canada balsam is extraordinary ray of the material 1.48 and it is represented as the light rays travel into the AB from the PR faces. It is doubly reflected light. The double reflected light, the plane polarized by BO, BO is called the another is external ray, plain polarized beam BE. So BO is called the ordinary ray, BE is called extraordinary ray. In nickel prism, the ordinary ray is completely reflected at the calcite balsam surface and absorbed by the tube containing the nickel prism. The angle of incidence is greater than the corresponding critical angle. It exhibits the total internal reflection. Then then only extraordinary ray is transmitted, which is plain polarized, having vibration parallel to the principal plane. So this is called the action of the nickel prism. Some limitations: if the incident beam makes an angle much smaller than RBA with phase PR, the ordinary ray will strike and calcite beam of the balsam layer at glass less than critical angle. Then both ordinary and extraordinary rays are transmitted through the prism. So uses of the nickel prism can be used both it is called analyzer and polarizer. It is the main importance of use of the nickel prism. The nickel prism can be used both polarizer and analyzer. It is called best uses of the best application of the nickel prism. So applications of polarization. Polarization is used to differentiate longitudinal and transverse waves. The polarization is used to differentiate longitudinal and transverse waves. In transverse waves is a perpendicular to the wave propagation, and longitudinal waves is called the parallel to the wave propagation. And second one is polarization used in glass reducing sunglasses. Polarization is used to produce 3D movies, 3D pictures. Polarization is used in IR spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy. Another one is polarization is used in the measurement of photoelasticity. Another one is the polarization of cosmic microwave. Background is used to study physics of early universe. So this is called the polarization differentiate longitudinal vibrations and transverse vibrations. It is called the difference of longitudinal and transverse vibration. And another one is application of polarization light. It's a non-polarized light, the image, and polarized image. Polarized image is called the correct image, and non-polarized image is a shading of the image. The plain polarized light reduces glare. In forging countries, the windscreen in front of the driver is a polarizer. Hence, it is reduces glare and accidents can be minimized. These purposes widely using of application of that one. The glare reducing sunglasses, the glasses is it change the colors, it change the image identification. It is called glare reducing sunglasses. Another one is the 3D movies in cine industries. Another one IR spectroscopy. This is called IR spectroscopy. Another one is the measurement of photoelasticity. What is elasticity? మనం రబ్బర్ తీసుకొని ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ అది యాక్చువల్ పొజిషన్ వస్తుంది కదా, అలాగే ఫోటో ఎలాస్టిసిటీ మెజర్మెంట్ ఇట్ యూజ్ ఫర్ ద పోలరైజేషన్. అనదర్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఫిజిక్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎర్లీ యూనివర్స్. ద యూనివర్స్ it is called extended to the polarized perpendicular and parallel to the propagation of the light. Thank you. My dear students, this is called the nickel prism.